Thank you very much. With this, we thank our amazing panelists for their contribution, and we open the floor for questions, 5 minutes only, for the sake of the next session. Go ahead, and then our dear colleague, and then our dear colleague. Mike, please.
But I just want to highlight something is important for online participants. Please ask them if they have any question. Majid Khamisi. Thank you very much.
Of course. Online colleagues, if you have any question, feel free to post it in the chat box and we'll take a look. Go ahead. Where's the mic? Oh, sorry. Come back to you. تفضل.
طيب شكرا لإتاحة الفرصة مرة أخرى. أنا فقط سؤالي هو شكرا للعروض للزملاء جميعا على العروض اللي وقصص النجاح اللي تداولوها. حاب استفسر فقط هل أثناء التخطيط للمشروع عملتوا يعني في بالكم أنه عملية الترابط الثلاثية أم أن الترابط الثلاثي هذا جاء نتيجة؟ وكيف تعاملتم مع المانحين أثناء تقديم المشاريع؟ هل المانحين متقبلين الفكرة أثناء التخطيط للمشروع وأنه بيكون فيه ترابط ثلاثي وبيعالج 3 نواحي مختلفة، أم أنه فقط الترابط الثلاثي هذا اكتشفتوا أنه موجود في المشروع بشكل غير مباشر وأصبح من قصص النجاح؟ سؤال أيضا لمنظمة أجيال بلاغات، في العرض اللي عرضتوه أنكم عالجتوا مشكلة الصرف الصحي في إحدى المناطق ما عاد أذكرها. أنا أشتي أعرف إيش التدخل اللي عملتوه، لأنه إحنا في محافظة مأرب نعاني معاناة كبيرة ومشكلة مش مشكلة تعتبر كارثة في محافظة مأرب اللي هي مشكلة الصرف الصحي، وإلى الآن لم نجد لها حل. فإحنا حابين نعرف إيش التدخل وإيش الاستراتيجية اللي عملتوها بحيث إحنا نستفيد من التجربة. وهذا نداء أيضا للمانحين أنه محافظة مأرب تحتاج فعلا تدخل عاجل لحل مشكلة الصرف الصحي، لأن كل يوم نسمع مشكلة وكارثة إنسانية تحصل بسبب مشاكل الصرف الصحي في محافظة مأرب. شكرا
جزيلا. ناخذ الأسئلة بعدين نفتح المجال لزملائنا يجاوبوا. تفضل. حكينا 3 أسئلة، أنا متأسفة. تفضل حضرتك. هون بعدين هون، أنا آسفة.
صباح الخير، أنا أنس محمد، نائب الرئيس التنفيذي Deputy CEO for التواصل for Human Development. Very thankful for ABS for organizing this conference, and it's very good to have a discussion related to the humanitarian development. So today I can say it's a intervention and then I'll ask a question. So today I think we need for this linkages between humanitarian and development more than ever. In March, 18 organizations, including national and international, they closed up their offices, and we are facing now a collapse in Yemen for the humanitarian. So we need to work, and I think the humanitarian reset is a moment that we should work differently, sustainably. If we still working on the same mentality, on the same thing, the same result will come. So I think we need to integrate our responses and to have a development lens through the humanitarian. And from the presentation of the local NGOs, and I think, and I'm very proud to see how the impact of the linkages of the humanitarian and development, and I think we can do it. On the localization, so many platforms, so many conferences, everyone is speaking about localization. However, there is no real implementation. We have strong capacities. Why we are not investing? For example, the financial tracking system saying that 3% only of the funding is going to the local. So I think through this conference, we need to have maybe a statement to highlight that statement, to advocate to the donor that we need to change our lens, our modality. I have only one question for Marcella, and I'm very thankful for the German because they are implementing a huge development projects. As we hear that German nowadays with the shrinking of the funding, they will go back. Is it that real, or we, inshallah, things will be improved in future? And thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that important reflection. We'll park the questions for the last question. Go ahead. تفضل حضرتك.
صباح الخير. الدكتور ياسر باعزب، أستاذ الصحافة والإعلام بكلية الإعلام جامعة عدن، وأيضا رئيس مؤسسة إبداع للبيئة والتنمية المستدامة. أنا سعيد جدا أن أكون في هذا المؤتمر الهام والحيوي، ونشكر الإخوة المنظمين والإخوة المقدمين العروض اللي كانت أكثر من رائعة. أن نتناول اليوم الترابط بين العمل الإنساني والطوعي وأيضا بناء السلام. لو شاهدنا اليوم المشاركين أغلبهم من اليمن، وبالتالي المؤتمر والسؤال دي يطرح نفسه: لماذا عمان وليس اليمن؟ نحن في حاجة ماسة أن يكون اليوم المؤتمر هنا في اليمن. لماذا اليمن؟ ممكن نعمله ممكن في عدن، في حضرموت، في مأرب، الأوضاع مستقرة، ونحن يوميا نعمل منتديات ومؤتمرات. وبالتالي ما هي النتيجة المتوقعة لو عملنا المؤتمر مثلا في اليمن؟ حضور للسلطات المحلية، حضور لمنظمات مجتمع مدني ورواد العمل الطوعي والإنساني وأيضا صناعة السلام، إلى جانب المرأة والشباب والمانحين وكل الجهات ذات العلاقة، أن نخلق شراكة مجتمعية فاعلة. نحن اليوم نريد أن نربط، وكما تحدث الأغلبية من الزملاء والمنظمات المانحة، لابد أن نربط الجانب النظري بالجانب التطبيقي وأن نعمل على أرض الواقع. فمؤتمر مثل هذا مؤتمر هام يتساءل الكثير، يعني لماذا عمان وليس اليمن؟ شكرا، ونتمنى لكم التوفيق.
Thank you very much. That is also one important question. Can we address these questions then when come back? Two more questions and then, okay, if you insist. Of course, we always create space for women. Yes, I know. Apologies, panelists. Let's.
أكيد أنا أوكي، شكرا جزيلا. أحب أول شيء يعني أشكر المنظمات المحلية على المجهود الذي بيقوموا فيه.
نقرب الصوت بليز لأنه واطي.
أوكي، أحب أشكر المنظمات المحلية على المجهود الذي بيقوموا فيه، خاصة في الشمال، والوضع الذي هم بيشتغلوا فيه من الصعب جدا أنه يشتغلوا في اللي يسموها السوفت كومبوننت أو المواضيع الناعمة، نتيجة اللي إحنا عارفينه في الشمال. فشكرا جزيلا لكم، وبرغم من كل حاجة أنتم قادرين أن أنتم تعملوا شيء. بس أعقب على كلام الأستاذ ناجي وأيضا على كلام العزيزة مارسيلا، أنه هل إحنا بنرقع بصريح العبارة؟ هل اللي إحنا بنعمله عملية ترقيع، أو أنه ممكن نرجع شوية للوراء؟ ليش أصلا هذا الرغبة في الدمج بين الثلاث؟ هي الموضوع منها أنه كيف نحقق النتيجة. للأسف أغلب المشاريع مش بس فقط في اليمن، هذا الوضع العالمي، أن إحنا بنشوف المخرج مش النتيجة، أو الذي هو يكون معنا عدد كذا وعدد كذا. بس ليش إحنا أساساً بنشتغل هذا الشغل؟ ليش إحنا بنقوم به؟ وبعدين بعد ما أهلنا، بعد ما دربنا، بعد ما عملنا، إحنا هذا الطريق اللي إحنا بنسلكه، ليش بنسلكه من أساسه؟ فهذا الدمج هو علشان نحن نفكر للمستقبل، مش فقط بالمشكلة الحالية التي حاصلة. احنا لما فكرنا بالمشكلة، هل كانت أولويات مانح، ولا كانت هذه المشكلة جاية من المجتمع المحلي كسبيل لحل مشكلات أكبر؟ فأتمنى أنه ما نركز كثير على الأنشطة ومخرجات الأنشطة، ولكن نركز على الأوتكم أو النتيجة النهائية الذي هي للمستقبل. وشكرا لكم، وأنا مش قصدي أن أنا أقلل من عمل أي حد، عملكم رائع وجميل وخاصة في الظروف هذه، بس نتمنى أنه ما يكونش عملنا زي مطار صنعاء ترقيع. شكرا لكم.
سؤال مهم وريفلكشن جدا مهم، شكرا لك. Now we'll open the floor to our dear panelists to address the questions.
السؤال الأول كان، والاستفسار الأول كان على هل أصلاً في strategic planning؟ أوكي، أنا بتكلم عربي and then English. هل في strategic planning؟ أنا اخترت الكيس ستادي exactly عشان أبين، بس لو لاحظت بثاني سلايد ركزت على الديت، قلت إن الديت كان بين الفترة 23-24، يعني based on Nexus Initiative goals. فكان مهم جدا أوضح إنه الستراتيجيك بوينت والديت كان based on Nexus Initiative is not sadly or just زي ما بيتكلموا هات الاوتكمز، معنا outcomes dispatching زي ما تكلمت الضيفة العزيزة إنه ترقيع. No, it's not dispatching. I mean it. معنا date، معنا strategic points. I have a goals. I have a future planning. I have a road as I display within presentation. معي road، معي phase 1. I have إن شاء الله phase 2 phase 3 within one goal. Success within initiative. This is the first point. The second point يتكلم عن المؤتمر ليش في اليمن. الدكتور ياسر حبيب القلب يعني زميل عزيز يتكلم ليش نار in Yemen. هذا I think I hope إنه مس مرسيلا هي بتفضل بالإجابة عليه، هل في مؤتمرات جاية إن شاء الله، وأتمنى إن شاء الله تكون في اليمن عادي. Right? Miss Marcella? Okay, he asked about why this conference be in Amman, Jordan, why not in Yemen? So I said this answer is, I can convert it to Miss Marcella.
We wanted to give the floor to the rest of the panelists, but go ahead, it's all yours now.
Yes, المايك please.
Yes.
مايك بس. Okay. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Miss
Thank you very much.
شكرا دكتور سنان. Go ahead, Marcel.
I'm sorry, and I don't want to speak long, and I will try to keep it short. Patches of Alpha. Just one example for Yemen. We have 10 years humanitarian crisis in Yemen. Yemen is dependent on food import to almost 100% till today. But you have agriculture. You have your own agriculture. You have your own fishery. So how is it possible? Because of focus of humanitarian. So it is out of question, if we go this way, it will remain the situation in Yemen. So there is a necessity, like Romano said, there is a highest necessity to change the path and to go together. It's out of question that this is necessary in Yemen. Germany will remain committed to Yemen, as we have been working for more than 50 years. We love Yemen, and this is why we are so active in Yemen. The conference in Yemen, we are not on the ground because of the security in Yemen. But we found a way to deal in between, going to Yemen to visit, but also to have as many as possible meetings in Amman. So try to keep it this way before you go back to where we were before 21, where we didn't have the donors in the communication at all. I think it's better than not having anything. I would love to have everything in Aden, but I think not everybody can travel to Aden. So we would reduce a lot the participation from the international community. But of course, we want to have as many Yemenis as possible. So how to deal in between? When I'm in Aden, we will again organize as many meetings as possible with all our Yemeni partners. So we will try to manage in between. The last question is my basic question for this conference. We were talking about Nexus and how important is Nexus and how complicated is Nexus. What is this HDP? Does everybody understand what it means? Because it doesn't mean that one organization has to cover H, D, and P. What it means is to go together, what we are repeating from the beginning of the conference. Go together, all the actors. The same question goes to localization. What do we mean with localization? I saw now presentation of 2 big projects that the EU member states are financing by Sierra and ERI. We know these projects. This is UNDP implementing. What we want to see is what are the local partners doing, not what they are implementing from us through UN agencies, but what is and this is what I'm talking also in the name of my colleague from the EU, she had to leave. We are interested in what the local partners are doing, how they are included into the international communication and coordination to hear your voice towards planning what we need to do in Yemen and towards the local authorities. How are the local authorities, including the local NGOs, into the programming, planning of local Yemeni plans going together with the international community? I think this is the basic question that we need to discuss, because localization is not just that the local NGOs are implementing some projects through many, many, many other organizations, but it means ownership and leadership. And ownership and leadership is what we are missing. And we can get it only if we include you and your voice, and this is the coordination. Have a coordinated platform, speak with one voice for the NGOs, like we try to implement in the women's voice into the coordination, and then plan together. And for Geneva call, because I saw Geneva call should be on the panel, they do amazing job. And the last point from me, sorry, we have to look at all actors who are on the ground. Mm-hmm. We have to deal with all actors who are active on the Yemeni side, where Geneva call is working on. Yeah. So I don't know if you changed the plan, but I just wanted to support that it's very important that they are also on the panel.
Thank you very much for the question and the reflections. I'll hand it over back to the panelists to address some of the questions. محمد, كان عندك إجابة؟ شغل المايك اكبس عليه.
Yeah, maybe my boss will answer this question. He raised her hand to answer it.
Okay. أكيد.
Yeah.
في another.
أعرفكم بنفسي ليلى الفقيه، رئيسة منظمة أجيال بلاقات. منظمة أجيال بلاقات مبادرة شبابية بدأت في 2007، يعني مبادرة شبابية احنا بدينا نشتغل على أعمال تطوعية. وأول ما نبدأ احنا نشتغل إجابة للأستاذ ناجي، احنا اشتغلنا على تقييم الاحتياجات، وتقييم الاحتياجات هي اللي تحدد مسار العمل حقنا. إما نشتغل في جانب السلام، ونشتغل في جانب التنمية، ونشتغل في جانب الإغاثة. وجانب الإغاثة هو كان جانب طارئ علينا بالنسبة للعمل، لكن احنا أثناء التخطيط احنا نحدد نوعية المشاريع اللي بنشتغل فيها، ويكون فيها داخل الترابط الثلاثي بدون أن نشعر. ولكن جاءت المبادرة نكسس تحدد لنا هذا الشيء وتوضحه وتعزز العمل اللي احنا نقوم فيه. بالنسبة لمشاريعنا اللي اشتغلنا فيها في إعادة تأهيل الشوارع بالنسبة للمناهل، يعني احنا في مشروع سيري احنا اشتغلنا على أساس إنه المشاريع هذه جاءت من السلطة المحلية، وهم اللي حددوا لنا المشاريع هذه، واحنا مجرد منفذين لهذه المشاريع. لكن كيفية التنفيذ من خلال دراسات، وهذه الدراسات توضح لنا كم عدد الناس اللي هم متضررين من هذه الكوارث اللي موجودة، عدد الناس اللي يروحوا للمستشفيات. احنا اشتغلنا على عمل كان المؤسسة مش قادرة ان احنا تشتغله، ما فيش تمويلات، مشروع سيري احنا اشتغلنا على هذه المشاريع في مجالات وقطاعات مختلفة. فمن هنا احنا نأكد انه نكسس هي الرابطة الثلاثية اللي تخلينا نحن نشتغل منذ المبادرة كمنظمات محلية، تبدأ تخطط منذ البداية إلى أن نوصل للنتيجة النهائية للترابط.
شكرا جزيلا. نفتح المجال للزملاء الموجودين أونلاين. دكتورة وفاء تفضلي.
تسمعوني كويس ولا لا؟
نعم عزيزتي بنسمعك، تفضلي.
Thank you everyone for today and being with us. I just want to answer very important questions and also to do follow up to the discussion. Why the Nexus, the conference has been conducted in Amman is not in Aden or in Hadramaut. The conference conducted in Amman because the aim of this conference is the advocacy for the phase 2. And you know that the representations of the all INGOs, NGOs, and we already invite the NGOs and local authorities to be with us today. We have another conference which will be also focusing in Nexus, and it will be in Aden. It is under the project with the Vision Hub, which is under the agriculture sectors. So we will have another conference that will be conducted there. But we need to have, what is the impact? We are talking now about the finalizing what has been done in phase 2, but in phase 1, sorry. And what has been done should be done in phase 2. For the question that is not the way that we are presenting outcomes or activity, we want strategical. I think Dr. Sinan already responds how strategical planning. And tomorrow we are discussing about the strategy that has been developed for implementing phase 2. And there is a lot of questions that they are asking about how we can implement the transitions from humanitarian to development, or why we are now talking about Nexus while the Yemen is in critical situation and maybe we're gonna go to humanitarian. But this is not correct, because we are facing of lack of fund. The money is reduced, it's globally, it's not in Yemen. So the intervention should be different, and the way of thinking should be different. And now, as Roman say which is the Yemen Nexus Academy, he already mentioned the same points, that we should think differently, and Nexus approach now, it should be a high priority to be as a way of implementation of programming. The last thing that is related to the local actors' experience and how we are showing that local actors' experience. I want just to say that Marcela said that we are presenting what we are implementing from our projects. It's totally right. But the way that we are presenting, for example, in ABS, and Dr. Sinan and Dr. Aisha also gave reflection after the presentation that has been presented, that we have two different projects. One has been done under the UNDP project, and the other one has been done under the IRC. And it was like emergency response. We integrated these two projects internally to be having resilience and more sustainable impact. This is how we should think innovation and think out of the box, and how we could manage with our resources and to be responsive. The Yemen Nexus initiative has been started by ADO, and it has been 3 years self-funded by ADO. So this is what just also one example to show that ADO, which is NGOs and the women-led organization, that is a good examples how we could do and start from ourselves. And again, as it always say, let's start together and let's work together. And this is our slogan in this initiative. And sorry that I took a lot.
Thank you very much, Wafa. Panelists, any reflections? Yes, go ahead.
Just I want to mention about how we submitted the project as Nexus approach. As you know that at the beginning we didn't know about this initiative. We started our project in 2021 as a proposal. It was planned that is because of our working in the field. During our working in the field, we find that it's not benefit to work just with one sector or two sectors. We have to manage everything at once. So our proposal at the beginning was extracted from the field itself. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Go ahead.
Thank you for everyone. And briefly, the answer for the question for Mr. Naji is, as all our colleagues said, based on need. The need, it was the guidance for us to develop our proposal or our project and implement. It's just the need. This is what I always advocate. Just get the need from the local or from the affected communities and design. There is no any guidance or framework for our project, just the need. The second thing, I will also answer for the question related to the Mr. Yasser, Dr. Yasser, why the conference here? Thank you for Ms. Marcella and Wafa and all college. Also, we have important objective to let our conference here. If you remember, we developed strategy and we move with the a national stakeholder at Yemen, in Aden and the Marib, and the collective thoughts and item of strategy from national. So the second stage for our strategy to also put the inputs from the international level. So Amman, it's considered as what it's yes, it's a proper place for the international more than aided, because the security risk and challenge in this period especially. Thank you.
One final reflection and then lunch break.
شكرا جزيلا. فقط أريد أن أضيف أو أعلق على ما قال. الوضع الأمني في عدن، الوضع الأمني في عدن مستقر تماما، لا يوجد ما يشوبه شائبة. سفراء الاتحاد الأوروبي كل يوم يجوا عندنا، وآخر المنظمات الألمانية اللي كانت موجودة قبل حوالي شهر ونصف منظمة فريدريتش الألمانية، وكان موجود رئيس المدير القطري للمنظمة في ألمانيا موجود عندنا، تقابل مع وزير الشؤون الاجتماعية والعمل. أيضا قبل 15 يوم كانت السفيرة البريطانية سفيرة المملكة المتحدة عبدة شريف أيضا في فندق كورا، التقت بمعالي وزير الشؤون الاجتماعية والعمل. الوضع الأمني مستقر في عدن، والبنوك بدأت الآن تنقل البنوك المركزية الرئيسية في صنعاء تنقل مراكزها إلى عدن، وكذلك كثير من المنظمات الدولية بدأت تنقل مراكزها إلى عدن، فالوضع مستقر الحمد لله، ونحن نرحب بالجميع في عدن، منظمات دولية ومحلية والكل. شكرا جزيلا.
شكرا. وآخر reflection, last reflection is with go ahead, Nabila. Can we address it after lunch? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Nabila. It's on, you can speak. Yes.
Yeah. Can use this?
شغال, it's on.
No. I would like to add something as a recommendation for local NGOs. As a local NGOs, we have to add a nexus approach as one of the methodologies that we use to implement our projects and also for planning. And as you know, with some donors, we are part of the designing of these projects. So in this stage, we have to convince all the donors that we have to add humanitarian development and peace building. We can't say that Yemen now doesn't need anything related to the humanitarian assistance. No. Yemen needs humanitarian development and peace building. So when we are planning for any project, we have to think out of the box. How can we add these three elements in our projects, even with a small percentage? So thank you.
Thank you very much, Nabila, for that reflection. Being asked by the conference team to address one final question. Apologies. Go ahead, but very quickly, please.
Hi, thanks. So I'm Josh. I'm from Save the Children, and just want to say it's my first time participating in this the Nexus initiative. But I've been very impressed by the caliber of the projects that have been presented by the local partners, and I think this is very relevant given the constrained funding environment that we're facing. One observation that I wanted to make was that I think in this environment it's really important that we focus increasingly on our comparative advantage, not our competitive advantage, but our comparative advantage. We can't be all things to all people. We can't spread ourselves too thin. And in order to improve efficiency, it's maybe important for us to make difficult decisions and focus in on what we are good at and perhaps rationalize the areas where we are not as strong as other partners. So for us, that may be around for Save the Children, we're a dual mandate organisation, so we focus on life-saving and life-sustaining areas, so humanitarian and development. But where we've not been so strong is on the peace-building piece, and we've been grappling with this for years. We've been trying to build this capability in-house. But I think in this context, it's important for us to just acknowledge that there are actors that are stronger in this area, and we need to be looking at establishing strategic partnerships. So that's just sort of my observation really, is I think we need to be focused more on comparative advantage, not competing with each other, but looking at how we can work together more collectively.
Thank you very much. With this reflection on the comparative advantages, we release you for lunch. Thank you very much for your patience, for your time.